Are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Mills looking to the air right away. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Fight 60. Hey, go Fury.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's got room. The 20, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Mills to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Watch out for Hill on the return. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
They'll run on 1st down. Edmonds. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The Dolphins at 7-3 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Watch out now. 50 series.
From midfield, here's Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Another carry for Pierce. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down and another run with Edmonds. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Desmond King picks it, and the Texans will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
As Sanders has it poked free, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Wow.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 68 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Pierce. He'll take it inside the 25.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And they'll try to throw here. Mills. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
To throw, Mills. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on third down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. Third down incompletion, fourth down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to first down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, they turn to Sanders. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
On the set.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Slide through.
On third down, they run with Edmonds. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's returnable now for Smith. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 22, Mills over the middle to Beckham. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Houston.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On 2nd and 9, Mills. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. That play over before it got anywhere thanks to Christian Wilkins. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 21-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Hills hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the 16-yard line.
Recovered by Houston.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Pierce now up the middle. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mills. His throw incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing, Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he is going to lose yardage here. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So a big one coming here for Kymie Fairbairn. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So that gets him a little closer as he converts there, but you have to think back to the field goal he missed earlier.
Right now, that's the difference between leading and trailing. So at this moment, he's reciting that kicker's prayer that we know so well. Just give me one more shot before this one's said and done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field to start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to pass. Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they...
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Edmonds running out of the shotgun, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tua going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Play fake, Mills. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Going for it with Pierce. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, sometimes, Brent, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Mills on 1st down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
And cycle.
They'll run with Edmonds again. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. 3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here's Smith to return it. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Mills back to throw. Into the hands of Beckham. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now Mills. That's complete to Tyler Johnson.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here's Mills. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard, if that. Second down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mills looking to throw it. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
The Texans will line up for the 2-point conversion.
The quarterback will keep it himself. They'll try and run it in. And he'll get in, although there is a flag down. But if it's offsides, this is going to stand. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
And that's into the hands of Gesicki. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Tagovailoa. And Hill with it over the middle. He's got room at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Ready?
Now a give to Edmonds. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Texans' 29-yard line.
And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. So it all rests now on the right foot of Jason Sanders. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. And it'll be a good time in South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for the Dolphins, they keep pace in the playoffs.